help Georgia in its pursuit of Arch Manning. Doesn't necessarily guarantee it, but obviously eliminates seemingly a pretty strong contender. I'm actually more interested, though. Why don't you think Arch Manning is going to Alabama?
The tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist in me wants to say that it's because I think Arch knows that Nick Saban won't be there when Arch finishes his career, and I personally wouldn't want to deal with a coaching change in the time of my college career. I definitely think there's something to be said about the idea of stability at both Texas and Georgia right now. And, obviously, I think Kirby Smart has 110% job stability. He's going to get a massive contract here soon that will make him one of, if not the highest paid coach in the country. And if you're Texas, yes, you'll have some volatile boosters there. But after the way things went with Tom Herman and after the way things went with Charlie Strong, things have to work with Steve Sarkisian. And I do think he's probably going to be afforded more patience there than we've seen from Texas in recent years. And so I think the stability that comes with those two programs right now is a big reason why they're the ones in the running for Arch Manning, because the reality is the most important thing to Arch Manning, I choose to believe, is who is going to provide him the best scenario to get him to the NFL. And if you're offering stability, I think that's a really big sign for where Arch is going to end up going. And Todd Monken being in his third year in the program and looking like, he's going to be here for the long haul now. That's the way, I don't think that's something we were discussing maybe a year ago.
Yeah.
I think that's another positive sign for Georgia in the recruitment of Arch Manning.
Yeah, I agree with that. I want you to be fair and balanced here for a moment, though, because I just believe Arch Manning's coming to Georgia, and I look at a lot of deficiencies with the Texas program as the reason why they're, including the fact that as of yet, they haven't been quite as aggressive in the NIL world as some people kind of thought they would be. We kind of played some audio to that regard before you joined us here. But clearly they're a hat on the table here, and the longer this goes, and if Arch Manning does truly take this into the season, then it gives Texas a chance to win him over. And obviously they have a lot to sell him on when he visits there later on in June. So because I spend so much time making the case for Georgia, would you mind making the case for Texas here for a moment?
Yeah, I think you look at Steve Sarkisian's, Steve Sarkisian has long had an ability to relate to and get the most out of quarterbacks. And when you're a college quarterback trying to get to the NFL, I think that's something certainly attractive. You look at the guys that he worked with at Alabama specifically in recent memory, Tua Tagovailoa and Mac Jones could not have been more different as prospects and even so much their time as college athletes. And Sarkisian found a way to get a lot out of both of them and put both of them in positions to be first-round draft picks and ultimately get to the NFL level and do that. And I definitely think there's an understanding there of, that he is going to have the ability and a way to get, the most out of Arch Manning. He's proven that he can do that with quarterbacks. Can he run a program successfully? Can he build Texas into a championship contender? That's the big thing that needs to be seen. And I think that's, if you are a Georgia fan, I think that might actually be a good sign that Arch is taking this, it seems like he is taking his recruitment into the regular season, because if Texas, has an 8-4 or a 7-5 year and they struggle once again, which, a lot of the issues with Texas, it hasn't been talent. It's been the things that they do Monday through Friday in terms of getting up to the games. So, if Texas has another slog of a season, that's going to cast further doubt there on what Sarkisian is able to do, because he's going to have Quinn Ewers there, who was the Arch Manning before Arch Manning in the previous recruiting cycle. And so I do think it's fair to wonder, if you're not able to do this with Quinn Ewers, who's a similar type prospect to Arch, what makes me think that it's going to be any different when I get there? And so I think with Georgia, on the other hand, Georgia doesn't need Arch Manning. Georgia's going to end up with a quarterback in this class, whoever it is. Georgia's probably still going to win 11, 12 games, get into a college football playoff, maybe even win a national championship. They've shown you can do that with Stetson Bennett. They've shown, five-star quarterbacks don't always work out the way you think they will, and Georgia still finds ways to win without them. So I think that is something important to keep in mind in the greater Arch Manning sweepstakes here.